Now, we got this shit here. They got this shit over there. And we got everyone in the middle. We're going to look at some cooking videos today. And damn you if you don't like it. Damn you. Damn you to hell! So, anyway, first video up is recreating the Taco Bell Crunchwrap Supreme. Hello, Josh, the American Fox. And you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to move right into it. People will come on as they come on.
And I'll say it again. A homemade Crunchwrap Supreme is one of the best tasting things you can make in your kitchen right at home.
Yeah, as long as you figure out how to keep the goddamn lettuce moist.
We'll start by cooking our beef, and for that, I'll go into a pan over medium-high with a bit of oil, then into the pan with my beef, and I'll spread it all out, leaving some space.
Okay, I hate to be a dick, but how much beef? Is that a pound? Is that 2 pounds? A pound and a half? A pound and 5/8? The size of Kim Kardashian's last abortion?
Space in between so it can get nice and crispy while I come on over here to chop up my onion. I'll slice this in half, then chop it all up into nice small and even pieces, and I'm even going to run my knife through there a couple more times just to make sure no large onion chunks exist. And once that's fully chopped, I'll move on over to my jalapenos. But don't throw away this juice. There's lots of flavor in here, and we're going to use it. I'm going to chop my jalapeno up to about the same size as my onion, and once they look...
Okay, he's not using jalapenos, he's using pickled jalapenos. Dude, you have to make these fucking distinctions. Like, I'm not trying to shit on you, but dude, you have to make these distinctions.
Similar, I'm gonna go check on my beef, make sure we got some nice browning happening on the bottom here. And after checking...
Well, if Trump's dead, then guess what? J.D. Vance is now our president. Because I hate to break it to some of you leftists, there's not going to be a special election. J.D. Vance will just assume the presidency. And that will create Trump the martyr, so you're completely fucked in 26. Good job!
Checking that we got some nice...
And by the way, this is the only time we get political on this channel.
Nice flavor and some good browning on the bottom, I can add in my onion and my chopped jalapenos. Once that's in, I'll hit it with some salt. That's going to start drawing out that moisture and flavor from those onions. And then we'll stir things around for a few minutes to break up all that beef and also soften the onion in the process. Remember, since all of this is going to be the filling of a Crunchwrap, we can't have it...
I don't know what Taco Bell uses, but I did remember seeing something that their meat was like 60% beef. I have no idea what the other 40% was.
Any pieces of beef that are too large. You'll want to make sure they're in nice small chunks. It's perfectly okay for them to have some texture, but you do want them to be pretty small. Once all that beef is broken up, I'm going to grab a few spices. These are the ones I picked out, but you can certainly use your own spice blend if you want. And I'm going to season this with some smoked paprika, a little bit of garlic powder, some nice ground cumin. That's one of the spices that's going to give...
Oh, for fuck's sakes, Auntie Maxine is so goddamn brain dead that fucking leather-faced fucking catcher mitt cunt couldn't fucking work her way out of a paper bag. The best thing she could do for everyone is just to take her last breath and leave us.
Of our beef that classic taco night flavor and smell here. A little bit of chili powder, and to finish, some fresh cracked black pepper. Once again, I'll stir this around.
All right. Now I'm done with political commentary on my cooking show.
To fully combine and toast off some of those spices. But then
Hello,
before
Brian
they burn,
Hicks.
grab that jalapeno liquid and a little bit of extra water. And together, we're gonna add these both into...
I would have actually done with a little bit of tequila instead of water. That's just fucking me.
Deglaze. That's gonna temporarily halt the browning process. And the jalapeno juice is supposedly a trick they...
Basically, you deglaze the pan.
Use at Taco Bell to give their beef more flavor. Once it gets to a stage where there's just a little bit of liquid left on the bottom and you start to see these big bubbles that are poking out from all the different holes, turn off the heat and shift this to the side. Now that we've finished making our beef, we're gonna make a few tostadas. And what that means is that we're gonna fry off a couple of corn tortillas. To do that, I'm gonna add a nice layer of oil into the bottom of a pan. And once the oil begins to shimmer and that gets nice and hot, I'll add in my corn tortillas one at a time, and then just use whatever utensils you have in your kitchen to keep it as flat as possible while it cooks.
I'd probably just buy the damn tostadas, but maybe I'd do this.
Feel that it's fully
Because I know I'm never going to use the corn tortillas for anything else. They suck.
fried and crispy, go ahead and set it off to the side, where you'll want to hit it immediately with a pinch of salt. While I repeat this process with the rest of my tortillas, I like to play a little game to see which one I can get to be the flattest. I don't think that one's going to win, but this one right here might. That is a very flat tostada. Although I do have one more chance. See how much better they got as we kept cooking? It's fun to play little mini games while you cook. With this last sprinkle of salt, our tostadas are done. To make our cheese sauce, we're gonna keep it simple. It's not gonna be as easy as going into the supermarket and buying a cheese sauce, but this will only take us just a few minutes. I'll start by grating up some cheddar cheese and then unwrapping a few slices of this classic American.
When the fuck did I tweet that?
Cheese. I still can't believe that this is actually cheese. Cheese should not do this.
Progressive's Up Payment program provides down payment assistance for first-generation home buyers.
That's not cheese. And once all
You're right. American cheese isn't cheese. It's deliciousness in a yellow sheet form.
that's ready to go, I'll come over to a small pot, and then over medium heat, I'll add a little bit of butter. Make sure your flame's not too hot. We don't want to color the butter in any way here. And once that's fully melted, I'll add in a little bit of flour, and then whisk this together to make what's called
I remember Becky Lynch's and Brie or Nikki Bella's match was decent.
a roux. Once it turns a nice dark blonde color like this, I'll whisk with one hand while pouring in a little bit of my milk.
But I still think the match could have been helped much more by them having a kiss and make up after the match.
With another. And once I make sure that absolutely no clumps remain, I'll pour in the rest of my milk and continue whisking to thicken things up. Once I start to see some light bubbles forming around the edge, I'll tear in little
If you think that's gross on my part, my God, are you sensitive? And haven't been around here all that long.
pieces of my American cheese. Doing this will make it a lot easier for us to melt it. And now, over nice low heat, I'll continue whisking until it looks fully melted. Because that cheese is so bright compared to our milk mixture, it should be pretty obvious when
He's slurring his words at 4 p.m. Yeah, it's only like I'm in my home, not bothering anyone. What the fuck do you care? How does this affect you? Oh, that's right, it doesn't. So, this is the last time I'm going to interact with you. You can keep doing what you want in the chat. You haven't done anything to get my ire enough to ban your sorry ass, but, yeah.
fully done. And now, to finish up our sauce, I'm going to add one little handful at a time of my cheddar cheese.
All right, that's it. Now you are gone.
Whisking each time until it's fully melted and then adding in a little bit more. And I'll just follow this process over and over until I've used and melted all of my cheese. By the end, your sauce will have gotten quite a bit thicker, so we can set this aside and keep moving. No Crunchwrap is complete without a sauce, so I'll start by chopping up a jalapeno. The blender's gonna do most of the work here, but I'm gonna do my best to make it just a little bit easier. Then, a few cloves of garlic. Customize this part.
Well, if you want to control the heat, the best thing you should have done is slice the jalapeno, considering you're putting it into a blender anyway. Slice it down lengthwise and core out all the seeds and the pith. That's where about 90% of the heat is, but apparently you want this a little bit spicy. Little bit spicy.
To make it as garlicky or not garlicky as you want. If you're sensitive to cilantro, go ahead and replace this with something like parsley or dill. And I'm
Iron Gullet, if I think for 1 second you're the person that I just banned, you're gone. Choose your words carefully.
just gonna give it a couple simple chops. We're going to be using everything, stem and all. Once that's done, I'm gonna open up one avocado. Fingers crossed it's a nice avocado. Yeah, it's nice. And we only need one avocado for this recipe, so I'm gonna peel one half and save the other for a snack. Finally, I'll chop 2 limes. This has a lot of lime juice in it because lime juice is awesome. And then I'll bring up my blender and in I'll go with the juice of all 4 of my limes. Normally I'd be squeezing them by hand, but I really wanna get out every last drop of juice here. And I'll follow the lime juice with some sour cream, a pinch of cumin, just a little bit of sugar to balance out all the acidity, then all of my cilantro. I feel so bad for people that can't eat cilantro. I'm sorry. Then my garlic, oops, bloop, my jalapeno, and
I have no idea. Oh, Taco Bell. The volcano burrito. Bring that back.
a little bit of salt. Don't worry, I didn't forget about you yet, avocado. Now, we blend. Remember once or twice to go back and scrape down the sides of your blender. These are all delicious little bits that you're gonna wanna have in your sauce. And once your sauce starts to look something like this, turn it off.
It's beautiful. The ones high and mighty have accepted their bitch boy status.
Add in your avocado and then blend again nice and low. Once it's fully mixed and looks something like this, go ahead and turn it off. Transfer this to a bowl. It should be a beautiful light green color. Then cover and let this sit in the fridge to start to firm up. We're in the final stages of prepping our Crunchwrap, and the last thing we have to do is get all of our toppings ready. So first, I'm gonna grate some of this Colby Jack cheese. This cheese is great for a Crunchwrap because it's really mild, so it's not gonna compete with any of the other ingredients, but it's also super meltable. So it's gonna give you that really good gooey texture in the final Crunchwrap. To grate it, I'm gonna go the long way, so I get these nice, beautiful long strands of cheese. You'll understand this better when I put my Crunchwrap together in a moment, but longer strands are gonna mean better, cheesier texture. Next, let's move on to cut our tomatoes. These are Roma tomatoes, but I suppose you could use really any kind of tomato that you want. Whatever kind you do use though, the key is gonna be to make sure you scoop out all the guts of the tomato. Why? Because we don't want all that moisture to ruin our Crunchwrap and get rid of all the crunchiness. Without it, I know that tomatoes tend to look a little weird and naked, but this small step is really important for getting a killer texture. Once I've removed all the insides, I'm gonna chop my tomatoes first into nice even strips, and then I'll cut them into small even cubes. And finally, we move on to our lettuce. You'll want to get a nice crispy lettuce like iceberg that's going to retain its nice texture inside the Crunchwrap. I'm going to chop up my lettuce into nice thin strips like this, but a little is going to go a long way here, so that's about all we need. It turns out that the only way to make a Crunchwrap Supreme is to get these giant custom tortillas, and the only place that has them is Taco Bell. So I showed up to Taco Bell and begged them to give me some of their tortillas. And if you don't believe me, I'm sure someone watching this video has worked at Taco Bell at some point, if not now, and you could support me in the comments down below. But this is the actual bag from Taco Bell that they get their giant tortillas.
You could have went to the goddamn grocery store and got, what is that stupid fucking company's name? Oh god, I was a rep for him for a while. Well, I completely blanked on the name, but they sell big ass fucking...
Before I put together my Crunchwrap Supreme, I'm actually gonna wet some paper towels. I don't want these soaked, just nice and damp. And then I'll toss this in the microwave for just a few seconds to soften it up a little bit. While that's happening, I'm gonna take another tortilla, and then using this plate as a reference, I'm gonna trace all the way around it to get a nice circular piece of tortilla that I'm gonna use to seal my Crunchwrap. That was satisfying. After just 15 seconds, this should be good to go. Now this shouldn't crack as much when we fold our Crunchwrap Supreme together. And to prepare it, I'll go down with some of my beef. Say what you want about Taco Bell, but they do season their beef quite well. And once we've made that into a nice circular shape, we'll bring in our cheese, which by the way has now thickened up quite a bit, exactly what we wanted. And I'll drizzle some of that right over the top. Then next, my tostada, which is still, here's some proof, very crunchy. That's what your tostada needs to sound like. And next, some sour cream on top of the tostada and spread all around evenly across the whole top. You'll know you did a good job layering if your tostada fits perfectly over the top of your beef like this. I actually should have measured a bit, but I just eyeballed this one and it worked out. And then on top of this, it sort of acts like a glue. We'll add some lettuce, then an even sprinkling of our tomato. Starting to look like a Crunchwrap, that's for sure. Then some Colby Jack cheese laid across in those nice long strands that I talked about earlier. Wow, I am drooling right now. And to finish, I'll add this little hat on top and lightly compress without breaking my tostada. And before I close it, one last look to see how I layered it, since I think this is the best way. You start with some meat, then go with your homemade cheese sauce, then tostada, then sour cream, then lettuce, then tomato, then cheese, then the little topper. And now we fold by pulling
Why'd
up the
you
top
bother
and
with
pressing
the
down
little
next to it and
cover?
folding again, and then repeating that same process all the way around the Crunchwrap. Tuck, fold, tuck, fold, and repeat that process all the way around until you get to the end, where you kind of just have to then fold that last piece up however it allows you to. And once I finish folding, I'll toss this plate on the top to hold my Crunchwrap together while I jump over here to preheat my pan. To give our Crunchwrap that nice classic crust, we'll go into our pan with a small bit of oil, and once it begins to shimmer, I'm gonna carefully grab my Crunchwrap. This is the hardest part of the whole recipe, but I find it's easiest if you get a spatula or something like this and then use it to help you guide it on without losing that fold. Fingers crossed, here we go. Now we gotta let it do its thing. If all goes well here, our cheese will melt and we'll get a nice, beautiful golden brown crust. Once you feel that it's got a nice seal and the golden brown crust, go ahead and give it a flip. Oh baby, that's a good Crunchwrap. The most important piece of advice I have for you while making a Crunchwrap Supreme is patience. The tortillas can burn really fast.
Why would I bother making this? This thing sucks.
Fast and really easily, but they also need to sit there for a while to cook and slowly melt that cheese. So it makes sense all around to go low and slow when you cook these. Let's see if I've got a crust on the other side. Oh my gosh, I don't know which one's better. Before I cut it, listen. That's what your Crunchwrap needs to sound like. Be confident when you cut it. Good crunch, that's a good start, but let's see how the inside looks. Boom. Now all I need is a big Baja Blast and my day will be complete.
That's AI. I didn't want to believe the thoughts of you using AI for your close-ups and thumbnails were true. But there is no way. There is no way in hell, Nick.
When you cut it. Good crunch, that's a good start. But
That
let's see
this
how the inside looks.
That this was what you had in the thumbnail. You know, people may bitch and complain to me about, you know, my quality of cooking. And whatever, everyone is, for some reason, entitled to their own fucking opinion. But at least the product that I show you in the goddamn thumbnail is the product that I made. This is nowhere near what you showed us. You go from this
Now all I need is a big Baja Blast and my day will be complete.
to this. You didn't make this, faggot. That lettuce would have had to have been under no heat to be anything. You are lying. I tell you what, I am going to make a major concession here, right now. I'm going to say at least Jake did not fake his thumbnail and did not fake his closing shot. And that's what you did, Nick. This is nowhere near your goddamn Taco Bell Crunchwrap Supreme recreation, what the fuck ever it was. I mean, I may fucking hate Jake, but at least he gets that from me. At least he gets my respect. At least Jake didn't put up a phony-ass fucking bullshit thing. Which is exactly what you did. And his fans didn't bother to pick up on it. Honestly, it doesn't take me that long to clean up after cooking, because I clean as I go.
classic. Toasted bun, tons of bacon, juicy burger, some cheese. Hey, you already know what it is. An absolutely delicious Baconator. Now, the ingredients will be in the description box below. Go ahead and click on them so you can grab those ingredients. Come back and cook with your boy. But without further ado, I'm going down to this workstation so I can go ahead and get started. This here is a pound of meat, quarter pound each, roughly. Right now, all we got to do is...
Oh no, he used tube meat. Oh, no, my friend. I know this because of the way this particular patty was shaped. This came from a tube. No, my friend. No, my friend. Either grind a piece of meat yourself. You can buy a grinder for like $200 on fucking Amazon. Or go to your local grocery store, or go to your local butcher shop and get some freshly ground beef. Oh, this is gonna suck.
Quarter pound each, roughly. Right now, all we got to do...
If you want to make sure that you get the quarter pounds that you want, use a goddamn kitchen scale. You can buy them for $15.
Is shape this hamburger into patties. So what we gonna do?
When is tube meat appropriate? All right. When it's in something else that takes a long time. Tube meat's fat is kind of weirdly done, where it gets very stringy and tastes like shit. But if it's in something like a spaghetti sauce or a chili, then yeah, you can probably get away with using tube meat. But generally, my sentiment is, outside of something that simmers for a long time, tube meat is acceptable never. Ever. Spend the extra couple of bucks. Don't be cheap. Don't be a fucking bum.
Is we just gonna square these up as best as we can.
But it's never acceptable to be for a goddamn burger. Again, like I said, I will make exceptions for it in like a chili or a spaghetti sauce or something where it has a long time to cook or stew. But for a burger, no. Get the fresh ground shit out of the meat well, or go to the meat counter, ask them to grind something themselves, or get something from their fucking case.
Get them square, and we'll be in the game, fam. Then just keep in mind, these patties will shrink in size.
I wouldn't even bother with square patties. Nobody else does.
So you want to make them relative to your, or bigger than your bun size. Make them as square as you can. Doesn't have to be perfect. And what you could do is use like a little spatula like this. You know what I'm saying? Like square those sides off if you like, right? So you can do that. Hit those sides and get it nice.
Again, spaghetti sauce, I mean, I personally wouldn't use it. To me personally, tube meat is never. It's a no-go. But if I had to use it, then it would be in something like, yeah, a spaghetti sauce or something where I can slowly break it down over time.
Perfectly square. Like that.
Hello,
right?
Did you?
And then just make sure you got some burger patty sheets like that, and then you can put your burger on there and get it ready. And you're ready to cook it. Look at that right there, fam. Absolutely perfect. We in the game.
Why didn't you just build the patty on the paper?
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my griddle. I got it on low. And what I want to do is go ahead and toast my buns because I'm going to work up in heat. So I'll start on low heat.
Okay.
My buns first, getting them toasted. And then I'll go with some bacon, right? So, you know, a little hack, if you put bacon on low heat, then it won't crinkle up on you. So that's just a little trick of the trade right there. So we'll go ahead and butter these up. get them on that griddle, and we'll be ready to go, fam. All right, fam, we're gonna make us a burger sauce. Now, for one of the Baconators, we're gonna keep it just ketchup.
Baconators don't. Wow. Yeah, it's your Baconator. You do you.
Mayo, because that's what the original is. Now this one, what I do have, I got some, let me show you. So I got some of this fried chili paste, and then I got me some Duke's mayo. So a half a cup of Duke's mayo and about a half a teaspoon of that chili paste, because it's extra spicy. And this will make, you know, an absolutely delicious burger sauce. Spicy mayo. And like I said, for one of these Baconators, we'll keep it just mayo and ketchup, because that's what the original recipe is. But this right here, fam, hey, you'll be in the game with this. All right, fam, we going buns first. Like I said, low heat, and then we'll build this heat up as we work with this recipe. All right, fam, when those buns are nicely toasted like this right here, hey, we're gonna set these to the side, and we're gonna get that bacon ready. All right, fam, we're going in with some thick strips of applewood bacon. And fam, take a look at that.
Like I said, I just clean as I'm cooking. I am also cleaning because cooking. There's a lot of downtime. I'm just usually cooking, or I'm just usually cleaning as shit cooks. Oh, my sauce needs to simmer for 20 minutes. Well, then I clean everything and put it in the dishwasher.
Perfectly cooked bacon right there. All right, fam, we're gonna go ahead, go with those patties. And we're gonna keep the seasoning simple. Going in with some pepper. Hit it with some salt. A little bit of onion powder. And some garlic powder. All right, fam, we'll get these flipped. Yes, sir, look at that right there. Perfect. And they smell absolutely delicious. Then we'll do the same, season them up. We're gonna put some cheese on these burgers. All right, for two of them, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go.
And yet they still ended up rounding. I mean, how the fuck does Wendy's keep these burgers cooked? Just keep them in the goddamn mold?
With some cheddar cheese on top. The other two we're gonna go with American cheese. Now, fam, we'll remove
Because I know at one point Wendy's did cook their shit.
these burgers like so.
Because I remember making fun of Wendy's, one of the Wendy's training videos where there was this kid that I guess is supposed to be under 18, but really would have had to have been over 18 or 18, because Mary, his boss in the video, pulls him from fries. Well, I'm sorry, the deep fryer is a much more dangerous piece of cooking equipment than the grill. Or griddle, actually. We're going to be specific. Griddle.
And then we'll,
You know, like Wendy's called it grill skills. Well, it's actually griddle skills. Grill is something different.
get them assembled. All right, fam, we're gonna go with the traditional Baconator. So I'm going in with that Duke's mayo. We're gonna go in with a little bit of ketchup. And there you have it, fam.
I hit something wrong, but that looks like dog shit. That looks like crap. How did you fail at making a Baconator? Like, Like, seriously, how did you fail at making a Baconator? Smothered. Okay, it's a smothered pork chop. One pot pasta looks like shit. Alright, whatever. Next up. I'm gonna deal with this on my other channel. But one of the major YouTubers that have fallen from grace, Binging with Babish, who has 10.5 million subscribers, but got less than 500,000 views on his latest video. I tried my subscribers' struggle meals.
Well, if you have a halfway decent personality, you struggled. And necessity being the mother of invention, often interesting things come out of the need to make it work with what you got. So we asked you, what are your favorite struggle meals of past and present? And you answered the call. Over 3,000 submissions of your preferred struggle meals. So I want to try it out. I want to see what you guys are eating when you got to make do with what you got. And then we're going to share a couple struggle meals of our own from our past, or things that we just dreamt up that you might want to try the next time sucks. Let's get started. All right, first off, we have Egg Rice by Mike C. And I say Mike because they put 3 I's in there. Crack 3 eggs into a bowl. I'm gonna add a little pinch of salt to the eggs. Beat these guys up. Nice and smooth. I'm gonna oil up my very tiniest pan. Add our eggs to our tiny, tiny little pan. They were specified to be scrambled. They didn't say how scrambled in what way, so I'm gonna do things my way, because it's my way or the highway. Kinda wanna prepare this like omurice. Basically, I'm looking for the eggs to be almost done. Almost a little too runny. Looks pretty nice. Just gonna kinda let it sit over very low heat, cover it up, and just let it cook for a bit. I'm trying to make a cooked shell on the bottom so that I can flip it over, slice it open like an omurice. Yes. Microwave white rice, some sushi rice in this case. Oh, how pretty. It's gonna be a perfect platform for our patty of poultry.
God, to think you were once a respected member of the cooking community.
Let's see if I can invert it without inflicting disaster. Say your prayers, brush your teeth. Bam. So then they specify some furikake rice seasoning and of course a drizzle of sriracha. And there you have it. Mike C's egg rice. That was easy. It's not omurice, but we do have some nice custardy soft eggs underneath this scrambled egg. So then it does specify to mix it up and eat. Here we go. And it's delicious. You got some runny egg in there, being all runny egg about things. Then the furikake is just a lovely, very subtle seasoning of sesame seeds and seaweed. Very basic seasoning, adds a whole lot of personality though. You're getting good protein.
Yeah, you're... You're also putting 3 eggs into one dish. Those 3 eggs were probably for a family of 5. And they just ballooned the rice up. Again, much like Josh Weissman, it's easy to make a better Baconator when you add $150 worth of ingredients. All right, done with this. But now we go to one of the OGs. Cooking with Jack. OG motherfuckers. Cooking with Jack. And he's going to tell us homemade dairy recipes anyone can do. Absolutely anyone. Except right now, at this moment. I really, 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 really gotta pay. So there's gonna be a quick break. Just a quick break. And I'll be back. All right, and now we get to dairy recipes anyone can do.
Welcome to the show. Jack Scalfani here. It's the Cooking with Jack show. If you're new to it, let me tell you a little bit about the show.
Well, actually, it's not really the Cooking with Jack show anymore, because normally you have to have your dumb, stupid, fucking ultra cunt, fucking ultra Christian wife, who I would love to have a Bible discussion with her and absolutely destroy her worldview. Because, yeah, if you think the Bible was written by God, I have a few questions for you. It's the Jack and Tammy show, basically.
I'm not a chef, just a home cook. Been doing this for like 18 years, okay?
Yeah, suffered several strokes, didn't bother to get yourself any better. Could have launched another channel, Exercising with Jack. Could have maybe repaired your relationship with your eldest son, who you've completely cut off because he dared smoke pot. Because instead of listening to your instincts as a dad, you were listening to your fucking cunt wife known as Tammy. Yeah, you could have done a lot of things there, Jack. And also, here's another thought. If God and Sonny Jesus is so good, why do they forsake you with this? Why do they give you an impossible choice? Also, in the New Testament, Jesus himself specifically states the father as the head of the household, meaning if you want your eldest son back in your life, your wife can't say dick about it. I'm sorry, but Jack is one of the few characters where my hatred of him spans beyond just like Lord of Patriarchy and simple shit like that. No, it's not just because he's a Christian and I'm an atheist. There are several Christians that I am friends with, that I respect their beliefs. He's the exception to the goddamn rule. And as you've watched me, you know that he is the exception to the fucking rule.
So, in fact,
I mean, Jack, you almost went to jail for killing your eldest boy because he called his stepmom he pushed his stepmom. Oh, you don't ever put your hands on a woman? I can think of at least 15 reasons to put your hands on a woman. I can at least think of 7 to put my hands on your fucking wife. Just on the grounds of her being a Christian cunt alone.
I literally have probably learned more from you guys than you have from me. But
none of it filtered to health, though.
today, we're going to show you 3 recipes in one video. They're short, they're easy. Let's get started. So basically, all you need is like a KitchenAid, any mixer. Doesn't have to be KitchenAid. All right.
I literally have said several times I'm an atheist.
And grab heavy whipping cream. I've done this before. I have failed. This is the way.
But this is not the time and place to discuss that. Sambuca, I will happily discuss this with you on LOP and explain exactly why I am not a Christian.
You do it. You put it in here.
But unfortunately, when I deal with Jack, I cannot get around it.
And you start stirring it. That's it. Use the whisk.
Yeah, he literally has the $700 version of the KitchenAid mixer.
Attachment. This is a pretty big bowl. I got a plate. I got a bowl here, which I'm going to fill with ice and make an ice bath like you would for hard-boiled eggs. But you're going to rinse the butter in it and get it cold. So we'll make it.
Why? Why do this? If I want butter, I'm just going to go fucking buy some.
Ice bath in a minute. Just take your heavy whipping cream.
When Verizon gives you a free phone on any
And also, I'm not a Christian because I do not believe that Jesus of Nazareth was the Son of God.
plan, you use AI a lot.
Gemini, show me the concealer.
The long, thin tube in the middle.
But hey, it's the new
Alright, so he's dumping an entire half gallon.
I'm doing the whole container. You do whatever you want. I got recipe
quarter gallon of heavy whipping cream.
down below. Probably doesn't ask for the whole container. All right, guys. Lift the bowl up if you got that.
Again, why are you doing this? Why not work on getting your other hand unfrozen?
Model. I advise you to start off slow. Start off slow and then go probably a little faster than that. All right? And then just let the whisk keep spinning. Here, let me show you. That's what it looks like. Just keep stirring. And then when it starts,
Well, Jax had like 3 or 4. I forget the number. So, but I know from other people that have literally said he could have mobility back if he took his rehab seriously, which he does not. I don't know. I guess once again, cunt Tammy is probably saying, "Oh, Jesus will heal ya." Yeah, fucking Jesus. Yeah, like Sunday Jesus gives a rat's ass if he lives or dies.
to change a little bit in consistency, I'm going to go one more level. There we go. And just let it.
And like I said, this is not the first stroke. This is like, again, stroke 3 or 4 is what paralyzed him. But again, they even said if he took his rehab seriously, he would be fine. But apparently he's just placed his faith in God.
Do his thing. This process.
Actually, I got it at Kohl's of all places. my shirt. I got it at Kohl's.
Will separate like the butter from like the whey, or some people refer to it as buttermilk. You could store it and use it. Use it in biscuits, use it in pancakes, use it however you need. Okay, guys, well, while this is going on, it's a great time to start your water bath.
Well, all I know is Tammy is the one that destroyed Jack's relationship with his eldest son. Was just fine with him sleeping in the park. And got pissed with Jack's eldest son, I don't know, maternal or paternal grandparents, taking him in. And do you know what Jack's eldest son's crime was? I don't know his name off the top of my head. It was smoking fucking pot. Even though drinking liquor was a far bigger crime in that damn book. Pot was never mentioned. But yeah. And also, Tammy, your husband is supposed to have dominion over you. So why don't you shut the fuck up and let Jack decide? No, what it was there was a stepson and you had a son. And you got like all women do. You got bitchy, catty, and jealous. And you wanted to push the other son out. Like all fucking women do. Well, maybe not all women, but a majority of fucking women do.
In the bowl. So go get that ready. Because once the butter starts to form, you're going to take it out. You're going to mash it together like a ball.
Oh, drinking is way fucking worse than smoking pot, even though now it's legal and it can be sold pure. Drinking is still way fucking worse. My vice and choice is way worse on me.
And rinse it in the ice water. Okay, guys. Once you go too high, you go fast, cover it with a towel so that the milk doesn't splash everywhere, okay?
Oh, what? Your fucking cunt wife can't be bothered to milk up a few spills? I mean, she was just fine with you crippling yourself.
As it separates, it gets more liquidy, if that's even a word. And you want to prevent it from splashing all over your kitchen. So go ahead and cover it up and go on high speed. So, as you can see, maybe it's turning into like a whipped cream. And there are hints of yellow appearing in the mix. We're just going to leave it at that speed for a while. Okay, guys, so it's starting to turn yellow. It's been about 5-6 minutes.
All right, doesn't butter need to be churned, not whipped?
Okay, guys, a big clump of butter came out. I've shaped it a little bit. I'm now just putting it in an ice bath to kind of get it to solidify. Get all the buttermilk off it. And that is it. We just made butter in 5 to 10 minutes. 1 carton of heavy whipping
Great, no salt.
cream gives you that much butter. So we got to.
So it's a half a gallon of cream for 1 quart of butter. What'd that half a quart cost?
Everything we need, few ingredients: apple cider vinegar, whole milk, we're
Oh, God.
going to do season.
You know what? I really don't give a shit about this. What's my old buddy been up to? What has my old buddy been up to?
Well,
Octopath is really good though. Can recommend.
Shit! Jake's all pissed off! Oh, wait, no, this was 3 days ago. Oh, shit, I already reacted. Jake, where you been, man? I need more content, my friend. Come on, Jake. Well, I got another... Fuck it. I'm not tackling that. Fuck it, we'll just do the rest of this.
Cream cheese with green onion, dill, and garlic, okay? That's all you're going to need. This is a lazy man version. You can make cream cheese many ways. This is the quickest and easiest method. Okay, guys. First thing you do is pour all your milk into a saucepan like this. As you can see, it's all getting ready to boil.
Because, once again, we had to have... Jack, are you capable of walking at this point? Because where those pans are from the floor, that would be somebody that's wheelchair bound most of the time.
We're going to bring it to a boil. And
oh my God, Jack is right now exhibiting signs he's wheelchair bound.
we're going to add in the apple cider vinegar. But first, bring it to a boil. Not a big boil, just kind of a...
What I base this on is...
kind of between the simmer.
Where that pan is hanging. That's at the level of somebody that can't walk.
And a boil. Okay, so it's starting to bubble a little bit, boil a little bit. Take your apple cider vinegar and dump it in. Okay? Go ahead and put the flame on low. I don't recall they said to leave the flame on. I don't think so. Let me turn that off. I can always turn it back on. But go ahead and mix this up. As you can see, it's starting to, here, let me show you. Starting to get little bumps, little curly bumps.
Oh my God, he is sitting down. That means he is semi-wheelchair bound. Maybe he knows how to walk. Or maybe he can still walk. But he is sitting down while he cooks. And rather than try to get her husband better, Tammy, who thinks, I don't know, the grace of God will cure him, is literally filming him cooking the very food that is killing him. And killing her. You all need to realize that no fucking Jewish carpenter of Nazareth is going to save your fucking immortal souls, because either A, we don't have any, or B, they are the product of a God that doesn't give a rat's ass what you believe, because we've had about 900,000 gods in the time of us being humans. And we're atheists of about 99% of them.
Turn it up. Send this through a strainer.
Okay. I know for a fact that he was sitting down for one of the shots. This isn't actually on his feet.
What we're going to do is we're going to take our strained cheese.
Oh my God, this is horrible. This isn't bad, it's sad. I promise I go an hour, but God, I don't want to.
Oh, this place is a mess. Sorry. We move things around so we can bring it over.
Well, honestly, the fucking cunt you have as a wife, Tammy, should have done it for you. Shows how much she loves you.
We're going to take spoonfuls. What came out of it was cream cheese. Okay, so it looks like something like this. So I can show you up close. Then these will blend a little bit. But the texture is great. Right there. Okay. Okay, guys, these recipes get easier and easier. We're about ready to do the sour cream. Let's get started. You're going to do heavy whipping cream, lemon juice, pinch of salt. That's pretty much it. So let's get started putting together. There we go.
I can't. It's like picking on it's like picking on somebody that's fucking retarded. Dear Jack's eldest son, I know you have every right to hate your dad, but Jesus Christ, you need to claim power of attorney from Tammy. you need to claim this. Because she is just sending him out after video, just being humiliated. Like, you need to get power of attorney over your dad. And I realize that's fucking impossible because Jack's not insane, but you have got to fucking start some sort of campaign against your stepmom, and I use that term very loosely. The fucking Bible cunt Tammy, who God said save two of everything. Well, bitch, marijuana is two of everything, you dumb cunt. By the way, so is cocaine and heroin. It ain't the devil's weed. You dumb cunt. And honestly, I want to start cooking. So I think this is where we're going to end this. So, good night, everybody.